Hello everyone, welcome back to Cosolix. I'm your host Cosolix, and today I'm teaching you guys how to play Spear in Brawlhalla. So if you're anywhere, if you're new to the game, all the way until I'd say a low diamond, mid diamond, close to Brawlhalla level, this guide's for you. You're going to learn something from this. Let's get right into this. By the way, if you want to improve at Brawlhalla and potentially other fighting games in the future, subscribe to Cosolix. There's so much educational content to improve, so you're going to want to subscribe for more. Okay, now let's get into this. So the first thing in this guide I'm going to be going over is just what does every move on Spirit do? What's the purpose of the moves? Then we're going to be talking about the true combos. There's one combo depending on dexterity, which we're going to be talking about. And then a couple strings, but that's also going to be talked about at the beginning. This is more of the essentials, the need to know to hit diamond, and a little bit more on Spear. Let's get right into this. So the first move on Spear, the most basic one you're probably going to learn, is Side Light. This is your string starter. It's just for positioning. It gives you a nice little advantage state that makes your opponent have to do something. Your opponent is going to be hit into the air, and then they're faced with a decision. Do you dodge? Do you jump? Do you do nothing? Do you wake up with a gravity cancel? It just gives you advantage state, basically. It doesn't give you true combos. So guys, if you're in silver, maybe Side Light Down Light is a 2 dodge frame string, but that's not going to work once you get into like a little bit into gold. So maybe this works if you're brand new to the game, but I don't recommend it. The optimal thing outside of Side Light is just let your opponent do something, and then you can do something else and react to it. I've got another video pretty recently on how to dodge, read, and react and whatnot, or something like that. It's like dodge, reads, and reactions and whatnot. I would recommend watching that video if you're a Spear player, but basically it gives you a nice little advantage state where you can go for dodge, reads, etc. I'm not going to be talking about how to do that exactly in this video, just saying the purpose of the move. That's Side Light. Next, we got Neutral Light. This is like a poking. It's the same idea as Side Light. It gives you advantage state, but it gives you a different kind of advantage state where you're a little bit further from your opponent. Maybe you can like do like another like dash end light like that. Maybe you could like end light, Side Light. Obviously these aren't true options. It make sure your opponent doesn't have a way to get out, so like no dodge or whatever. But it's just like, again, you're making your opponent get faced with a decision. It's just a good punishing. It's a horizontal poking stick. It's a good move in neutral if you want something horizontal without the commitment that Side Light has. End light is your less committing, a bit safer combo starter and 2v2s kind of move. Next, your actual combo starter, Down Light. This is your true combo starter. We're going to be talking about the combos a bit after, but if you can hit the Down Lights, Down Light does not hit grounded, so it's a lot of like predicting your opponent jumping or trying to like see how they dodge and then down lighting. It's a pretty difficult combo starter to hit compared to some other true combo starters in the game. Usually you'd have like a move like Side Light lead into Down Light, then the Down Light doesn't have true follow-ups, but in this case, it's a little bit different, which is very interesting with Spear. Creates some very interesting gameplay, so it might be a bit hard to hit that combo starter. So look out, if your opponent's like jumping, then you can like dash down light. And then also like dodges, like let's say the cross dodges, for example, horizontally. I'm just going to set the dodge to, let's say they dodge to the right. Then what you can do is, here, I'll show you. So they're going to dodge to the right, you just dash down light, and then you can hit your combos. So it takes a little bit more effort to hit that combo starter because it doesn't hit grounded, or just if they're empty hopping on the side of the map, you just dash down light, like, yeah. So that's your grounded moves. There is one thing about the grounded moves that you guys probably haven't noticed, but some of you might have. There's no stacked options. You don't have a lance down light, you don't have a katara end light, you don't have a sword end light. Nothing is stacked. The closest thing to stacked is the Side Light, which is still like, it's stacked in the middle of the attack, but not from your original position. And by stacked, I mean a hitbox within your hurtbox. So to cover that, picking Spear legends that have a grounded stacked option is pretty useful. For instance, Kaya Spear down Zig, or Orion Spear down Zig. Like, this is stacked. Kind of, it's actually side to side, but see, it barely hit stacked. It's gonna work stack, like, you see what I mean? So yeah, that's your stacked option. But in the air, you do have a stacked option, which is the first aerial we're gonna talk about, neutral air. So if you do want a stacked option, you can do like a little landing nair. Nair is arguably the best move on Spear. Spear's aerial game, nair and dare are like probably the best moves in the game, like up there for sure. This is a massive stacked circle. Like how big that circle is. That's what she said. But yeah, this Spear nair is like, if you get anywhere close to your opponent, you can nair. It's really fast, so it's a bit hard for them to react. So if you get really stacked and close, nair is your best tool. And you can combo out of nair, but they're usually strings. I would not rely on it. Just like that. That's it. There, come on. yeah, Nair goes into recovery into Nair. Nair is such a good move. The next aerial move is your horizontal punishing tool. It is side air. Side air has a good bit of force around it. It can also be a combo starter, as you can see there. That was one dodge frame. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But Sair is just, it's a horizontal punish tool. Like Sword Sair, like Lance Sair, Katar Sair. It's a horizontal with a good bit of force to get a kill, give you advantage state, send them flying, kind of move. It's a good landing punish. You also get some nice drift with it. You can kind of see I'm holding forward, or I can hold back. You can kind of make that decision to mix up your opponent, depending on the way you control it. Let me show you what I mean exactly. Let me turn the controller on. So you can see if I Sair and hold back, see I'm not going that far forward, but if I Sair and hold forward, I go a lot forward. There's nice drift. That's what we like to call it. Same with, like, let's say you're in neutral and you want to hold back. You used to be able to go back a lot further, but now you kind of can't. But you're holding forward, or you're holding backwards, and it stalls you. But if you hold forward, you continue going forward. Even without landing the attack, you can continue going forward. So it's important to know that you can control it depending on the situation to avoid your opponent's attacks and whatnot. Or, like, let's say you want to, like, follow up, but you didn't want to, like, go towards your opponent, but they're, like, you see I'm going towards or I'm going away, kind of thing. It's interesting. I wouldn't focus too much on it, but it's a property to think about. Same with, like, Nair. You can hold back with it, or you can go kind of forward with it, but it doesn't really have a lot of drift. You can, like, barely move forward. You can, like, dash Nair, and then, like, can you hold back with that? A little bit. Not really. You don't have much control. Okay, the last aerial, and arguably the most broken one, Downer. This makes it so if a spear player is directly above someone, you get advantage state. You have, I think, correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments, this is the most priority of any Downer in the game. So if you are above someone, you have great advantage state and can lead into strings, like another Downer. A good way to practice hitting the Downer is doing this little thing. You can, like, pogo them and see how long you can last. I used to make this into a game when I was, like, getting good for the first time. So you go, like, 1. You can, like, set a record. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, try and beat 16. But yeah, it's just a good way of getting a feel, where does the move go, and just getting used to it. A cool thing with the move is, like, let's say someone's, like, off stage, you can down air them, right? You can, like, dash down air, or, like, they're about to land, oh, down air. You can, like, even, like, dare towards the stage a little bit, like that kind of thing. I don't know. Spear players do a bit better than me, but yeah, it's just interesting. Like, you can throw out the attack while moving onto the stage if you space it properly, or you can just, like, just do it normally like that. Like, you can just hold backwards. You get drift with down air, and that's an important thing. Look at this. I could drift, you know, I could drift forward. I'm moving forward with it. I can drift backwards. See how far back you're moving? It's more than Sair. It's actually kind of ridiculous. You can not drift at all. The fact that Downer allows you to drift, like, backwards with it is, like, incredibly useful. You can even bait with it. Like, in neutral, you go backwards and you end light. So it's a very, very, very good move. I would expect it to get nerfed one day. I'm not kidding. So yeah, that's the aerial kit. Now let's talk about the 2 last moves. We got recovery and ground pound. Ground pound's your spiking tool. A lot of people who are lower ranks in this video probably rely on this move a lot. It works to a degree, just don't miss it. But it is a very big horizontal hitbox. It's solid. And then the recovery. Recovery is also solid. It doesn't have a lot of active frames, and it also does not hit grounded anymore, as you can see. It used to a long time ago. I'm glad that got removed. But there is something important with this recovery. It's a true combo follow-up. So now let's talk about the true combos. So the combos are out of downlight. If you want to practice these, what you want to do, set the AI to jump, and then make sure the AI's damage reset is on, position reset on, and then the other stuff, show damage, show stun, hitboxes, hurtboxes, items spawning off. If you're used to this channel, if you're new, then you might not know, but if you've been on this channel, I do this a lot, just setting up the bot to, you know, reset in the center. So if you hit them, they're going to reset. They kind of reset slower when they're jumping sometimes. I don't really know why. Come on, reset. I don't know why this guy's not resetting. There we go. So yeah. Okay, so you got 2 true combos on Spear. The first one is easier than the second one. And you potentially have 3 depending on the decks that you're going to need to know. The first one, this one you can do no matter what. You need to learn this one. Downlight, jump Sair. And what I like to do is press the jump and attack at the same time. So it's down light, Sarah. It's as simple as that. Make sure you can input this combo 10 times in a row true. If you can't get this 10 times in a row, you don't know it well enough. So yeah, practice this combo. Don't drop it. Some pros drop this combo in tournament. Don't be one of them. Yeah, the timing's a bit weird to get used to at first. You can kind of rely on sound effects, kind of like music, to kind of know the pacing of it, but make sure you can hit this thing true consistently. This is just a good like kill combo. So let me show you what I mean. So if you set them to like, I don't know, 180, this should kill. Yeah, it's just a reliable kill option. It's not the earliest kill option. We're gonna be talking about the more optimal combo in a second, but yeah, that's a good way to also make them reset if you want to test out the combo. So now here's the next combo I'm going to show you, and this one I'm probably going to miss input because I'm not a spear player and I play against it, so I know how important this combo is, but I don't play spear. I just know I know how to play spear to like a Brawlhalla in 2500. I just don't use this combo that much because you don't really need it until 2500, but it is optimal, so please learn it. It's downlight recovery. I hit that to 1 dodge. And see it like drop there. It's a little bit, it's a very tight input. There we go, we got a trill. 1 dodge frame. I get like somewhat, never mind, I don't get that consistent. And the reason this combo is so useful is the fact that it kills sooner than Sarah and allows for more follow-ups. So for instance, let's say they're 150, downlight Sarah, not gonna kill. But downlight recovery does. It does. So that's why it's important. You're gonna win games faster, get stocks quicker. This is an important combo to learn. You can see I'm starting to hit it pretty consistent now. And what I like to do is slide my finger from the jump to recovery. That's like a good way on controller to do it. But yeah, it's downlight recovery. And you should be able to get this 10 times in a row true as well. It's just gonna take a bit more practice. As you can see, I'm messing it up here and there. So yeah. Also in terms of damage, it does 1 damage more than Sarah. So 1 damage, let's go. So yeah, you can see the 16.99 compared to 16.05 or whatever it was on Sarah. Yeah. So yeah, recovery is a very useful combo, but not just the fact that it kills. There's one other aspect to it. Let's say you're trying to hit a 0 to death, which a lot of people are trying to do. Recovery leads into a nair. Recovery, nair, okay, and then recovery. Kind of. There's a lot of like vertical 0 to deaths. I used my last jump. Recovery, nair, recovery. There we go. There's a lot of little vertical 0 to deaths you can do with the recovery. So I definitely recommend practicing this and learning follow-ups after, because you're just going to have a little bit more to work with. Like, I don't know, like Bryn's spear and sig there kills kind of thing. So definitely practice the daylight recovery. It's very useful to stealing stocks very early. You'll see a lot of spear players who are good kind of go for this really early to do that. But the Sarah is also very consistent, and it's probably better for like team combos and 2s. You want something to send horizontally. So Sarah's that horizontal option, so that's really solid. Now, there's one more combo which we're going to be talking about in this video. The last combo is Sarah into neutral light. It goes like that, and you can see, hey Cosolix, you're hitting it to 1 dodge frame. It's not true. You're right. On 5 decks. If I switch Orion to 6 dexterity, then it is a true combo. So if you're playing legends that have 6 decks, you have 1 extra true combo. That's cool. But also the world champion didn't have that combo, so you probably don't need it. Yeah, if Kaya doesn't need it, you don't need it, kind of thing. It is useful to have, and the combo is fairly easy. Let me make sure the guys switching bot to the center, position reset on, there we go. But yeah, it's a useful combo. Definitely if you can get the dexterity and you have good stats, why not? And this is the combo. It's solid, gives some good advantage state, and yeah, it's a good combo. Even though I'm messing it up there. You might want to hold a little bit forward with the Sarah, just makes it a bit easier. Like if I hold back, it's kind of like doomed. But yeah, just hold forward for like a second. You don't even really need to think about it that much. This is probably the easiest of the 3 combos. And it only works in white. So maybe it works at 50. Yeah, it still does. Okay. But once you get to like orange, no chance. So yeah, that's the last combo. And that's kind of everything you're going to need to know about Spear. The only other thing I do want to say is Spear is a lot about dodge reads and reactions. So for instance, a move like Side Light, you might be wondering, what do I do after Side Light? In low elos, they're dodging my down light at 2 frames. Here's what you're gonna want to do if you want to practice that. Set the AI to dodge randomly. So you go to the dodge reaction, press random, and I want you to practice just reacting to how they dodge. So they already dodged horizontally. Spot dodge. Oh, I gotta talk about that. I don't want to miss that. But yeah, you saw what I just did there? I took the dodge and I hit a double downlight. Incredible. So then this, you know, no dodge, and then I hit the combo. So you hit the side light. Oh, he spot dodged. I Sair, and then I Nair, and then I go for my thing. Oh, went away. It's just a lot of reacting to the dodges. And then when you get reads, you can go for like crazier stuff. And let me show you that last little thing I just did there, because it's quite special. If you want to do a lot of damage on Spear, the most optimal Mona Lisa amazing combo, all you have to do is take a dodge. So make sure your opponent doesn't have a dodge. And downlight, gravity cancel. I messed it up there. Side light, downlight, gravity cancel, downlight. Downlight, downlight. So like the, here, I'll set the bot to jump. Downlight, gravity cancel, downlight is unjumpable. See, it's 2 dodge frames. You might be wondering, hey, Cosolix, they can jump out of 2 dodge frames. Here's the problem with that, which you're right. The problem is the hitbox is so high up, they can't jump out high enough. They can't get out of it in time. They can't avoid the hitbox. Even though you can jump, you don't move far enough away after that first start of the jump. So if your opponent doesn't have a dodge, then you can hit the combo. So for instance, let's say this guy spot dodges. Let's say you're like, I got a read. I know my opponent's going to spot dodge every single time. Here's what you can do. You hit the side light, they spot dodge, side light again, down light, and then you go for the Sair or the recovery. So side light, spot dodge, boom, boom. We go for recovery, Nair, recovery, and they're dead. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Or you go side light, there, D-light, Sair, and whatever. You have the advantage state from there. So yeah, try and get the dodge reads, and then you can hit that double down light. And sometimes if your opponent doesn't dodge, let's say you're a silver player and my opponent's never dodge, I'm just gonna go for the whole shebang anyways. And you can go ahead and do that. That's a-okay. Even in low gold, it's probably pretty optimal. But then once they start dodging, then it becomes a bad habit. Then you don't want to do it. So guys, that's everything you need to know about Spear. I hope this video helped. I know I don't main Spear, but I promise I can play Spear to any elo, any rank, Brawlhalla, whatever. So hopefully I helped you guys improve. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.